All right, so Cancer, let's get into this. Now, Cancer, this week from Le Vampire, you pulled transmission, spreading of conditions, influence, and impact. This is one of my favorite ones that I don't get to see too much from Le Vampire. This is talking about there may be somebody that is wanting to share in your experience here. It is also about surrounding yourself with, people that are uplifting for you, right? A good, positive, strong support network. But I see this as like specifically one other individual that is wanting to share in your experience with you. And then you have perception from Chakra Wisdom. Now, this card is saying that things may be coming full circle for you here. But, there's no going back, right? So it's asking you to change your perception. But then also one of the big things with this card, though, is saying, too, that there is a promise of a richer experience. But I think for Cancer, the richer experience is going to come from being involved with another person here. And this could be anybody important in your life. But this person wants to share in your experience with you. All right, Cancer, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Ugh. Why? No, that's bad. I don't like the Page of Swords. Oh, man. Now, for some of you, you may be, I don't know, for some reason I feel like you may be dealing with, somebody that may be saying some things about you that aren't necessarily true. And I don't know why that comes up for me. The Page of Swords, though, is the messenger of conflict. No matter how you look at it, this is the shit you don't want to hear. It's the shit you don't want to deal with. Every time I see this messenger, I think of somebody who is, hearing a bunch of shit that, may not be true or that they don't want to deal with. But, yeah, I don't like that as far as the signifier here. But we'll see what is happening with this Page of Swords. Oh, now in the past, the King of Wands. So, unfortunately for some of you, you may be dealing with a person who may have some negative things to say about you. And I do get that just from seeing the two. Now, again, we'll see where this Page of Swords is playing out. Now, this could just simply be saying that there's a lot of conflict surrounding a situation with a person. But the King of Wands, you're looking at fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. Now, on the other hand, that could be anywhere in somebody's chart. But to me, I do feel like this is another person. And again, being a general reading, this could be male or female here. And man, this King of Wands just keeps on showing up. Oh my goodness. So, I'm still iffy. I'm still iffy about this. And I'm waiting to see how this King is going to connect with this and even what is going on now. But I don't know. It may just be a lot of conflict surrounding a person, or you're dealing with a person that's got a lot of stupid shit to say. I mean, and that's just plain and simple, And in the present, the Ace of Coins. So, what I worry about is if you have, this fantastic new beginning here, whether it has to do with a job or a relationship or whatever this is here, the Ace of Coins is perfect in terms of real and practical new beginnings. It has the potential to be long lasting, but what I worry about here is what negative things may be surrounding this. And if you're looking at like a new job or a new project, this may be a person involved that unfortunately may be hearing some things that I feel like are not going to be true. Now, on the other hand, right, the thing with the Page of Swords, too, is, you see this a lot of times when it comes to, like, signing contracts and things like that, right? And even legal documents and that kind of stuff. And what I like about this deck is how they portray it, with the feather here. Now, I don't know. I worry a little bit. If you're signing anything, make sure you're paying attention to what you're signing. But I do worry about, what kind of conflict is either surrounding a person that you're dealing with that may be offering this new beginning, or the things that they are hearing. Why does it have to be the Page of Swords? It's not good. That's better. That's better, but it's bad. Like, it's good, but it's bad. So the Page of Wands. You got a couple of different messages coming through. One is really exciting. It's what you want to hear. You know, it is a new passionate beginning. And again, it's a new creative beginning for some of you. But that, you know, has like financial potential though too. Right? The Page of Wands is asking you to go ahead and take the new path here. But what I worry about is where the Page of Swords is coming through. You know, if you're dealing with somebody that's like trying to block you on this, or if there's like a lot of red tape around a situation that you kind of got to get through, you know, to get to this. You know, it may have to do with another person here. Ooh, wow. Your best path to follow, the Knight of Wands, so fire energy, right? You and Pisces. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is the best path to follow. This to me is saying that you need to go ahead. You need to go ahead. You need to follow your passions regardless of whatever conflict may be surrounding the situation. The only thing that I don't like about the Knight of Wands is that this is somebody that does not pay attention to details. You know, and this may be saying too that you need to be careful about, you know, the consequences of actions though too. But definitely between the two, right, it's good. Like this is good energy. Being passionate, being driven, going after the things that you want. But again, what I worry about is this right here, you know, especially when you're looking at the Knight of Wands sitting there. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Jeez. What's up, Cancer? You've got 3 of the messengers going on here. So in your environment, the Page of Cups, a new emotional experience for some of you. That, or, you know, and this looks familiar here, you're dealing with somebody who has some emotional immaturity that may be saying some things that aren't true. Possible. But when I'm looking at these two, I'm looking at a brand new emotional experience for you that has the potential to be long lasting. And the 2 of them look great. But, you know, again, what I worry about is the conflict. And maybe the Knight of Wands is just telling you not to worry about it. Because, you know, this could have been worse. You know, it's just... You could be dealing with a person, and it could be a person from the past that may have, like, a lot of conflict surrounding them. That, or, you know, this is somebody that's hearing about some bullshit that may not be true about you. I mean, it just depends here. I just don't like that Page of Swords being here. What you have going on around it isn't bad. It's just that this is front and center. But why? Why? Oh, shit. Your hopes and your fears, the 3 of Swords. And, you know, that kind of makes sense, especially if you are dealing with a situation that is, like, drenched in conflict. You know, and again, this being your hopes and fears doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to manifest. It does have the potential to, as long as you're placing your focus on this. Now, for some of you, it may just be needing to get to the heart of the matter. What bothers me, though, about the 3 of Swords is that if this is what you're fearing out of taking a new path, that's not good. That, to me, suggests that you've been through this before. You know, and it brings me back to perception, coming full circle, but needing to see things differently. You know, but then again, it's saying that there's a potential here for a better experience, but that 3 of Swords bothers me. You know, I mean, it's almost like, yeah, it sounds good, but, you know, like I've been through conflict surrounding situations like this before. I'm almost shocked that the Wheel of Fortune hasn't showed up here. But I do feel like with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, you know, this is something that you need to follow here, right? Because where it leads is good. Like, it's there. It's right there. It's just a matter of taking the action, you know? But this experience may be something that you've been through before, looking at the 3 of Swords. You know, and again, it goes back to this feeling here of, you know, the Page of Cups where, right, a new emotional experience, but, you know, this could be new in terms of, like, you know, the same thing coming up just in a new package, so to speak. But I do worry about that 3 of Swords, and I worry about how much you are focusing in on that, you know. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And then the outcome, Cancer, that is beautiful. The Ten of Cups. Happiness, happiness. And that happiness is going to come through you taking the action you need to take regardless of the conflict surrounding whatever it is that you're wanting to do, whatever it is that you have a passion for. You know, this isn't bad. And then seeing the Page of Cups in your environment too. Some of you are starting a new relationship. It looks really good. It's just that, you know, there may be some people that have something to say about it, but who cares? You know, who gives a shit what they have to say about what you do? You know, I worry about that Three of Swords being there. You know, if you've had your heart broken before, it's understandable that that's a fear. But again, this is not something that you want to continue to place your focus on. But again, the beauty out of all of this is that you get to the point here where you're looking at the Ten of Cups. You know, and then I'm looking back at transmission, right? You know, having somebody wanting to experience life with you. You know, you got to be careful about casting them aside, though, too, if there's a lot of conflict surrounding them. Or even the situation, if you're looking at getting involved with them, too. Wow, Cancer. But I do like seeing the Ten of Cups come out of this situation because you are looking at happiness. And with the Page of Wands, it looks great. It's just that there may be some conflict surrounding it. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. Adventure, well, yeah, with the wand energy, come on, right? Assurance, really? And awakening, very nice, very nice. So adventure, yeah, you know, and even with the King of Wands, you know, this could be your own energy surrounding you and you needing to go on a new adventure here, regardless of whatever conflict is going on, right? But you need some assurance, goddammit. You need some assurance that everything's going to be okay, especially if you've had, you know, your heart broken before, which is understandable. But then you have an awakening, which is amazing, right? Like taking that new adventure is going to open you up and you're going to go through that awakening here. And I think that you will get the assurance that you need. I don't think that, you know, with awakening coming out of this, I don't think that you have to worry about not having that assurance that everything's going to be okay in the end, because it is. I mean, with the Ten of Cups being there, you're fine. You're fine. It's funny because I almost feel like the sun. But it's not bad. All right, we're going to take a look at Whispers of Love and the Romance Angels. So I'm going to be pulling one from Whispers of Love first, and then we'll work into the Romance Angels. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. So, for some of you, you may need to take a break here before you start heading out on this new adventure, right? Especially if you've been through some heartbreak, this definitely makes sense. Needing to take a minute here to do, you know, some healing a little bit. I don't feel like it's needing to take a break in a relationship. I feel more like this has to do with, you know, you needing to take a break from conflict surrounding any situation, whether it's a relationship or not. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Very nice. Very nice. So something's going to be worth waiting for. But I don't think you're going to be doing a whole lot of waiting. With the Page and the Knight of Wands, I don't know. Right? But, you know, this may be something that is going to come around after dealing with some conflict, some heartbreak, you know, or dealing with needing to get to the heart of the matter, and especially with conflict surrounding the situation. But ultimately, you're looking at happiness coming out with the Ten of Cups, Cancer. It looks good. I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to reach this point where you're happy, and you're happy with the decisions that you make. You know, it feels mild. That Page of Swords feels mild. You know, it could be a hell of a lot worse, but it may just be some, you know, minor annoyance. But everything looks good. I mean, it doesn't look bad, you know.